In general, you guys are pushing this cart, or this sled rather, through the snow, trying to head south with a little westerly direction to try to keep yourselves on the way to Bryn Shander. On some level, you can pretty well guess, let's see, that you found the body of Uruluk. It's got a crazy name. Orbach, rather. In the actual Valley of the Dwarves, where the Yeti ambushed them, and the goblins were basically traveling directly south. And you traveled, I think, a little bit over an hour tracking the goblins. So you're probably, a little bit more south than you had expected. So right now, you guys are almost probably a straight southwesterly travel to Bryn Shander. So, but you do have a few other choices essentially. Do you try to just follow the tundra and follow your general feel of what you're looking for? Do you want to try to head back towards the actual um, valley of the dwarves, where you have some sense of this buildup of the snow that comes off of Kelvin's cairn that actually creates almost like a directional pointer straight towards the hill of Bryn Shander?
Well, I suppose my vote would be for getting back to Bryn Shander as soon as we can. We know the dwarves are waiting for us there.
Let's see if the dwarves were telling us the truth. Luther opens some of the, looks inside the sled or opens one of the sacks and so forth, and sees if it's steel ingots or something else.
Yeah, like a cursory look, you just lift a tarpaulin, just like a waxed canvas tarpaulin, looking underneath. It's about four rows high and probably about 5 rows wide along this long cart. And you can do an intelligence check if you want to guess how many ingots there are, but yeah, it looks like steel. And as well, Carvath, I know you cast mage armor early in the morning. You all set out probably around like 9, I think, when you were really getting on your way. So that would have lasted till about 5. Do you think you recast mage armor at 5? Like, are you down another spell slot?
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't sure about that last time because I know we had like the second blizzard. We kind of lost track of time, so I wasn't sure if it was still on. But I think essentially once it had worn off, he would cast it again. So I'll check another slot off because I think
Yeah,
I
you
used my.
definitely have a sense of your actual spell slots or of your actual spells like that. So that's actually a weird kind of clock that you have to yourself, is simply having that sensation of whether you're magically protected at any given point.
Okay, yeah, I should have asked actually before we got into the fight with the goblins if I had to recast it again, but yeah. So I've used my sorcery points to get the one slot back, so I have one left.
Gotcha. Yeah, so as you lift up that tarpaulin and look underneath, you're pretty sure there's a solid about 300 or so of these ingots, all of which weigh about a pound.
I'd vote for going back to Bryn Shander too.
There is no reason to return to this city you are talking about. I don't know. I need to get back to that city. So long since I see a city. Uh, where is the city?
Where is the city? It's not far from here, and we recovered this sled for some dwarves who promised us a reward if we returned it. So I think that's the reason why we'd return to Bryn Shander.
Okay, we should start pushing this stuff ahead. So let's go.
Can we also try to like inspect the cart, see if it was damaged at all that we can see in the fight with the goblins? I think that might be an issue or not.
I don't think there's any need for a roll on that. Looking over things, there's certainly points where arrows have hit it. It's taken damage, but it's not inoperable. They were using it as cover, but it is loaded down with steel ingots. So, in general, that thing has better armor than any of you.
Makes sense.
But I don't think you're going to see any immediate issues with it. The tarp might be cut up, kind of thing. Like there might be some rust that will eventually show on those ingots, but that's nothing special, nothing surprising, nothing devaluing happened from it, really.
So can we? It's possible for us to push the cart.
Yeah, or if there are like ropes tied to it that we can kind of have some people pull and some people push.
Can pretty much tell you that I know 3 people can push/pull that, because 3 was the number for the goblins to be able to do it, and they're definitely not as strong as you all are. But I have a feeling you guys might be able to get by with 2 people pushing or pulling it. But that's kind of where you're sitting at this point.
So Hector grabs the rope. He start trying to pull the cart.
Luther, perhaps you should take the lead, keep an eye out in front, and we'll pull it behind.
Okay, sounds good.
And so Karbath will take up another spot and start helping Etor move the cart, the sled.
He's just watching.
You gonna help because you want to get paid?
Yeah, think about it. Maybe. All right, fine. He helps. He helps reluctantly. Did you say you mentioned some It's
I lost you after mention.
I said you mentioned some inklets or something.
Ingots, it's a cart of steel, like in ingot form, like it's bars.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They're quite
sorry,
valuable.
I wasn't sure the word.
Yeah, so I think all of you are pretty much at about like 60% or so of your capacity. I think Relic has probably the most ability to carry extra right now. But like I think in general, if all 4 of you were doing this, you can move it with no problem. Depending which 3 of you are trying to move it, it might take a lot more effort. But you all can more or less maintain the same kind of speed if all 4 are operating it, and you get that sensation. The moment somebody kind of like steps away, it becomes quite difficult, and you are actively slowed down in the process. But that'll give you the sensation that if anything does happen, you guys need to stop and actually defend yourselves rather than not like try to like run with the cart. You won't really have that ability. Is a very quick thing that you'll pick up here as you guys start to move on. have you any thoughts on the path that you're going to go for? Do you guys want to try to shoot southwest and stick to the tundra? Do you want to try to get back to the valley and try to take that back?
I think we should go through the valley. Might be like less like encumbersome as far as like the item.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's less chance of being led astray if we go back to the valley, even though it'll be another hour, a minimum of another hour.
I agree.
Yeah. Valley it is.
So you know the valley is effectively to your west, but like northwest is the most direct route towards the valley. Is that your intention then? Is to actually go away from Bryn Shander and try to make way for the valley? Do you want to go directly west where you're pretty sure you're going to cross it and notice it?
No, we are trying to get back to Bryn Shander through the valley.
I want you guys to describe what you're doing though, because you know that you are south of where the dwarves got slain. So northwest is the closest route to the valley where you know the directions. West is not going to direct you away, and you can go like west by southwest and make it to the valley. You know, there's a lot of different options. I want you to describe this in detail for me, what you're going for.
I suggest we do this.
So a little west, a little west rather than 100% backtracking and then follow the valley. That seems
Yeah.
fine to me. Although
That's
if you
okay.
look at it, it looks like that's a distance over those hills, which we might get lost on.
I say whichever way kind of gets us down from the mountain quicker without, having to traverse all the hills and such.
Listen, we have two ways to do that. We can do the directly way, this way, or you do a slight curve.
Probably a best chance of not getting lost would be to backtrack. That would add some time. But we could also try and cut west until we think we've reached the valley, and then southwest from there.
Yeah, I think we should do that. We will go back to the way we came, then we start getting into the valley back to the city from where we came from.
Where you came would be directly north of you. It sounds like at least half the party right now, at least two people, are saying to go west from right now.
West is my vote along that black and yellow line, basically trying to get to this area.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, that works for me.
If west is the goal, let me get a survival check from Relic. Oh wait, no, not Relic, Luther.
Yeah, Wes.
I have survival too. If you want help,
If you've added it, yep, go for it.
Sure, I could even give you guidance on that. I mean, can I use guidance on an
Guidance is a
hour
6-second spell for an hour.
Yeah,
It's not effective.
yeah.
Guidance for me is definitely you know something's going to be happening, and you can cast a spell to affect the next few moments. But effectively, it's one of the things where like there's very limited chances to use cantrips. For me, are not powerful spells, and that's one of the things I feel like has to always be remembered. Cantrips have really cool uses, but yeah, so you all can make a pretty solid expedition back towards the west. it's not long before you actually discover these signs of the hill in the snow kind of climbing before you peak and you see once again the Valley of the Dwarves below you. Let me get another round of survivals from you. So you all have a good sensation that you can make your way down the edge of the valley right now, kind of like following it as you're heading southwest and cutting across it in a long diagonal to go through that incline. Or you can actually make an attempt to like lower the wagon over the edge, not the wagon, the sled over the edge, and actually make your way down into the valley in a quick motion, or you all can follow that ridge and wait for a better time that is going to just be easy to head into the valley.
I think we should just follow the ridge into the valley. We shouldn't risk like being it, like risk of dropping it.
I agree. We don't know if there is any rock in the way.
Agreed. Yeah.
So heading along the valley's ridgeline, you all follow the path for a while. Eventually, you are coming across a bridge that seems to span the valley, and get perceptions from everybody. So, coming up on this bridge, you all are effectively in the northeast side of this map here. As dark is starting to set in, there's movement on the bridge.
We can see what it is.
I want you guys to place yourselves. Northeast quadrant, at the very top northeast. If you want to be inside of the bridge, you're going to get a different kind of surprise. So does that look good where you guys are?
Yeah, I'm good there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys are coming into the view of this bridge, again, it's nighttime, so you guys can't really see even to like the furthest corner, but you guys do see some light from the actual uh, moon above. But you guys see movement along the bridge. Among that, you see a creature that is running from the right side of the bridge along your side of this valley towards the western side, and as it gets to that little corner, it peeks over the edge and looks down into the valley to the south. And I think you probably pick up another one of its friends that is on the opposite side of the bridge, and that one is sitting below the edge of the bridge, and it's more or less holding still. But having seen the other one running, you're very easy to make the understanding that these are two of the same creatures that are on this bridge. At present, they do not see you all, and you have the opportunity. You can try to avoid them, or you can try to take advantage of noticing them before they notice you.
How large are they?
They're smaller creatures, humanoids. But bundled up, they're probably about as wide as they are tall.
So Carvas going to kind of look towards the others. What do you think they're running from?
It almost looks like they're preparing for a fight.
They could try the position they are what could be trying to ambush someone. We have the option that we can try to get them by surprise, but we don't know exactly how many they are down there. We can see two, but could be more. Or we can try to get by more in more silence. You can. I don't know. We have a half sled here. Probably gonna attract attention.
Should we see if someone can go up and try and scout a bit, get a little bit of better sense?
I can go.
I'm sorry. Who said?
Oh, I was saying, I can probably stealth up to see if I can get a better look at what they are.
You can go. If you need help, we'll be there in an instant.
Luther's going to go around the back of the sled and take some amount of cover.
Yeah, it's not stacked high, but you can probably gain a little bit being behind it.
Over here, there's any cover.
That's like going down into the valley.
Okay.
There's
Just trying to get some idea of the area around.
Yeah, you guys are on the ridge line. If you start to head to the east, that's the option, but it's leaving the actual battlefield. And it's just like a shallow, it's effectively where the snow starts to just cling to that edge before it falls into the actual valley from the winds.
Okay. I stay on where I am.
So if Relic is going to move up stealthily, let me get a stealth roll from you, Relic. And you can move yourself 3 squares. What are you looking to do?
Trying to get like a better look at this guy here, like to see if he's like holding any weapons or anything.
From what you can see, it is definitely a smaller creature, probably about half of your size. It's wearing pretty similar snow clothing, so it's in general kind of like a white parka with fur, probably pretty similar make, where it's like seal skin or some sort of I can't actually, like a deer skin kind of turned inside out, where there's
Okay.
fur inside. So you're seeing like whites and grays of the actual skin. And it does seem to have a black crescent outline, perhaps in what's probably its hand.
Okay, so I'm a like kind of look back at the guys and just kind of relay the information and just say like, hey, uh, I
Are you
think
going to say it to them?
yes, like I think
Do a
he's gonna
performance?
be.
Yeah, so you're fighting the wind, and you're pretty sure you're able to communicate with them at that distance.
Okay. Um, Anybody else like should I like go for this guy or
So, what are you saying that they are not any creature? They are intelligent. They are wearing clothing, probably some kind of uniform. So,
oh, also have I'm sorry, I have a question. Is this like difficult terrain because of the snow?
Wait, what was that?
Is this like difficult terrain because of the snow?
When you guys are wearing snowshoes, no, it is not.
Okay.
That's part of why you don't really have a choice. You kind of had to purchase snowshoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because once they purchase them, and if it's difficult for you, they leave you behind.
What do you guys want to do?
I think we wait and see what it is they're waiting for.
I agree. We have no motive to get closer. We have no motive to attack. We have no motive.
Another one stands up over the edge in front of you, and as it looks down to the northwest, it then spots you, and it is going to yell out.
I take out my
It's
spear.
really, it's time to roll initiative.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm taking out my spear. Like I'm doing.
Yep, you can take out the spear as your free action when you are inside of combat. I think everybody had a sense those two creatures were waiting for an ambush.
Okay, so I rolled a 21, but I didn't have my guy selected. This is crazy. Oh my god.
It's always the first roll, regardless. If you roll a 5 and then you roll a 21, you're still getting the 5.
I rolled the 21 first. That's what I was...
No, but my point is whether it works for you or whether it works against you, you always get the first roll. If
Okay.
you rolled a perception check instead of initiative, we're just going to add your modifier to turn that perception check into the initiative.
Okay.
Like the D20 that gets cast is all that matters. We're missing Luther.
Well, I rolled a 16. Am I supposed to select my token before rolling initiative? Was that the...
Yeah, selecting your token actually adds it automatically. If you don't do it, you can do what Beaks did and actually select your guy and re-roll to get it up there, and then you can edit it. Otherwise, eventually you can just let me know that you didn't actually get it on the initiative board, and I can add it for you. But often I won't really notice that, so if you notice that you did not roll or you did not get on there, you gotta let me know. I've definitely gone 2 or 3 turns before I'm like, hey, wait, Luther's not done anything.
Just a question. Why my initiative has point 14?
14 is your dexterity. That's actually a preference of mine to have that set because it tells me flat out what the breaks are.
Okay.
What's your initiative, Relic? Or what's your dexterity?
Oh, that's 5.
Not the plus. 15? Wait, no, 16?
Oh yeah. Yes. 17.
All right, Relic, so you are going first.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna run up to this guy here. I'm gonna take a crack at him with the uh igloo.
Swing and a miss.
Okay. I can't use a unarmed strike as a bonus action, can I?
You created a monk, right?
Yes.
I think monks always can.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go for unarmed strike.
Do you have to have a monk weapon to do that? Is that the necessary requirement?
It works with simple one-handed weapon.
Why are you using a Chalton spear? Why do you always pick weird weapons? Yeah, it's a dedicated weapon for you. That makes it into a monk weapon.
And
And if you roll and damage doesn't show up, I need you to click that damage right away too, because that is a hit. It's going to hit the creature. Smack it down with your unarmed strike.
I'm clicking it, but
All right, roll a d4.
and I have a plus. I have a
+3. As you strike, your mic is messing up real bad, but as you strike out at it, you smash into its face, fracturing its nose, and like greenish blood just sprouts everywhere. Yeah, so realistically, it's almost like a grayish green as you punch this thing in the face, as it starts to bleed.
I look at my fist and just kind of shake it off of my hand. It's disgusting. And yeah, I'm done my turn.
From the other side of the bridge, a creature is going to pop up along the edge, and it is going to take a shot with its short bow at Relic. Oops, I've got that on whisper right now. It is a 14 to hit. I believe that's a miss. No, that is right over your AC. Yeah, but
Yep.
you have cover from that wall there. We'll say it's a +2, and that's a miss. It just kind of deflects off of the wall and flies directly over your head.
I matrix.
And it's gonna. You did nothing on that. It was the wall. And it is going to drop back below the wall and go into hiding. Again, I'm going to try not to shift them onto the GM level. So the little ninja means you guys cannot see that character. They are hid. And I think from there, it's going to go to Luther.
I'm going to fire my crossbow. That
Bottom one?
Yeah, the bottom one.
What's the range on the crossbow? It's
320
60?
feet. Well, 80,
Oh, wait, you're
320,
sharpshooter.
and
Yep.
I'm a sharpshooter.
Nothing matters.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
sharpshooter. I hate sharpshooter. It is way overpowered. Big ol' kill.
I'm not going to move.
And it's going to go to Carvet.
All right, so Carvas going to start moving a little bit closer. And he is going to, as he does, he's going to raise up his hand and shoot out a firebolt at the creature next to Relic.
Smack right into it, and it's just going to sear through the skins, and the creature's going to fall as its face is smashed open.
Okay, I'm just going to like shout out, let us pass. I don't know, he probably can't hear me from this distance, and then that'll be my turn.
And it's going to go to Etor.
When I move my movement, here and prepare action. I prepare my action that is firing my bolt to the first enemy that appear.
So in the southwest, a creature is going to pop up with its bow drawn. Take that shot. It shrieks out in pain as it takes a shot into Relic. 19 should hit, and it's going to deal 5 damage to you.
All right.
And then it drops below cover and disappears from view. What are you going for, Relic?
I would like to see both of them are behind cover. Okay, so this might be kind of twisted, but how how much would you say these little guys weigh?
You can use your free action to pick that guy up.
Yep. And I want to use him as a human shield and kind of inch my way down the bridge.
Nice.
Wow, nice idea.
I have 40 feet of movement, so
You're
could I
carrying a
get-
body, so it's halved.
yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. So like, yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna hold my action.
What are you holding your action for?
Holding a dodge action in case like they shoot.
You're taking the dodge action then.
Taking the dodge action.
So next one is going to pop up and take a shot at you. You are dodging. It has advantage from hiding, so it's a straight shot. Going to be a big old miss. Luther, what are you going for?
I can't see any right now. Is that correct?
That one has a 9 on its stealth. I think everybody is able to see it right now.
I take a shot at that one.
Pings right over the edge and misses the creature. That arrow's gone, or that bolt's gone. Assuming no movement from Luther, Carvath, what are you going for?
All right, so Carvath's gonna keep moving down a little bit. To here, he's going to try and through the cover try and hit this this guy to my
Directly
left.
west of you.
Yeah, sorry, west. Yeah.
Take that shot. Plings right off of the edge of the cover it's behind.
All right, and that's my turn.
And then Etor.
When I move this way, when I fire my crossbow at one.
Take that shot.
Never mind.
Another bolt, just completely gone. The next one is going to pop up. It's going to take a shot at Relic. Same idea. It's from hiding, advantage, disadvantage, straight shot. 19 will hit, and it's going to deal another 5 damage to you. And as this one hides, Etor and Luther will be the only ones who have a sight on it. Gonna go back to Relic.
I don't get no AC bonus because I'm using the body. All right.
You get an AC bonus, but you have 13. It's not enough. You're using a
Oh,
shield
no,
right now. That's 15.
I understand. No,
You're
I
holding
definitely
a
get
goblin in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, that's not effective armor, but it's definitely lawful evil.
Right on character.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep my progression here and just kind of keep it moving. So actually, you know what? Do I have any sights on the guy? Like,
Northwest is unhidden. The one to the southwest is hidden.
I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I can't
Drop
like
it in Step of the Wind.
throw dart at this guy. Can I?
You can throw a dart at it. I think that's going to be long range, so it's disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's going to pling right off the edge into the actual bridge.
Damn it. All right. Then I'm gonna stay where I am and just kind of like hold the goblin up to my face. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Somebody kill this thing.
He is going to end up kind of falling back towards the bushes until he appears to disappear. And he's going to pop out and shoot Relic from hiding. So at advantage. Should hit with a 16 and deal another 5 damage to you. On to Luther. I think you can see both of them right now.
Okay, I'm not looking good.
All right. If I move here,
He's going to have cover from you regardless of what you move to.
no, but will I have cover from him? If I move,
Moving down the hill towards that bush, yeah.
sorry, out of range. All right, crossbow at that fellow.
DM is still hidden.
Nope, that one ran and hid to take advantage. It is not hidden. Solid hit, gonna pierce right through its chest. It's you can't tell from that distance. Assuming that's all, it's gonna go to Carvath.
Okay. I'm going
You
to
effectively only have a sight on the one that Luther just shot.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna move towards the bridge and get into range. And I'm going to fire another firebolt. I am going to no, I'll save it. Shouldn't have saved it.
What is it? The thing that gives yourself advantage?
Yeah, Tides of Chaos.
Use that thing. Use it on a regular basis. Oh, roll a d20 for me.
Oh god. You're using white magic.
No, it's not for using it now, but when he casts Mage Armor, I should have made him do it.
Oh, right, yep.
And then it's going to go to Ethor. I can't even say you lose that firebolt because it's a firebolt.
I'm gonna use lay your hands on Relic. Gonna put all my 10 hit points on him.
Use 9 of them.
9. Okay.
You guys have no healing. If somebody goes down right now, 1 point gets somebody back up.
Okay, I put 9 points on you, Relic.
I'm alive.
And then it's gonna go to the
No. I didn't finish. Gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself. That's a bonus action, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, I am going to murder you with so many saving throws.
Please don't.
You're walking around as a level 2 character with 22 AC. You are going to get destroyed by saving throws sometime soon.
Please, no.
Goblin is going to pop up and shoot Relic at advantage. 19 should hit, dealing another 5 damage to you.
God damn it! Stop fucking rolling 19s.
And he's going to hide where Etor is the only person who can see him. And it's going to go to Relic. You obviously know that guy is there, though, Relic, so it's not like you don't know he's there. He's just technically hidden.
Just a correction. Last time we fought, I used Shield of Faith. So I forgot to take off my. So it's 20 armor, it's not 22. So
It's still absurd. It's
I
still
know.
going to add saving throws into the game.
I know, but just correcting so it gets correct. And it's not 22. It's only 20.
I was happy to see that you took that shield off because I fixed the shield's wording.
Yeah, the way it was written, I thought it was something else, so I corrected it. I'm not looking for a. The name was pretty cool, Battle Shield, but
Yeah, it's meant to be like a shield for an archer, so you can run up with a weapon out and the shield out. But when you actually need to switch to your bow, it doesn't take a full action to switch off of the shield. It's like a quick shield, but it doesn't offer protection. It's just that you can block with it.
I got it.
But I
So
created like 3 extra shields because I think a single shield is boring.
Okay, I wanna pay more attention next time. I'm sorry. So I'm done with my turn.
It's on the Relic.
Okay, I'm getting pissed because they're just tagging me here. So I'm going to spend a key point.
You're holding a goblin up that you just murdered, and you're surprised that they're still attacking you.
No, I'm just mad they keep hitting me. So I'm going to toss the goblin, use a key point to use my dash as a bonus action, and I'm
Run up
going
and
to.
smack that fool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think you got distance without a problem. You might even. Do you have 80 on the other one? It's just outside. That's where you have to like press the
Oh, is he
the
like
right
up on
click.
something, or is that like?
The
Is
problem
he?
is if you actually follow where you can actually walk, you have to take 1 extra step. Basically, he's
Oh yeah.
88 feet
So
away.
yeah,
If
because
you
this way, and then yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you
Well,
right click though with your mouse, you can set like the little waypoint, and that'll show you a little bit more properly.
okay. I was trying to figure that out. I was literally trying to figure that out. Okay. So yeah, I'm going at this guy right there. Hold on.
Yeah, so once you close in on him, he's obviously no longer hidden. Getting up close to him, he is certainly bloodied.
And I'm gonna crack at him with my spear.
Solid hit. I think that's an auto kill.
4 plus 3's 7. So.
Nope, you roll another one. That's with the plus.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. Okay. Then yeah, 4.
Big old dead guy.
And do I have any remainder in movement since I can go 80 feet?
I think you went 60 to there.
Yes. And so I got like another 20. So
Yep.
okay, I'm good.
Let's see. Yeah, nobody speaks it. You're going to hear a extremely high-pitched shriek as this creature is going to start to run off to the northwest. And it is going to be clearly visible as it tries to hide behind trees. Let's see. I'm just going to put 60 feet. I feel like probably the crossbow is going to be the only chance. So let's get a crossbow shot from Luther to see if this thing gets away or if it is gone.
Come on, Luther.
Nope.
Sorry, guys.
It's going to just kind of disappear into the wilds as this thing runs off to the northwest.
Yeah, you better run.
Yeah, staying on the ridge was the right choice there. If you guys were inside of that murder hole, those goblins probably would have taken this party.
Does
So,
anyone need healing?
I think Helic needs. It's
I
full
need-
of arrows.
I'm walking back looking like a freaking porcupine. No, I'm good. Just take these out if you're good, you know? I'm being sarcastic. Help me, please.
So how does channel divinity preserve life work? It's not quite a spell. I can just throw it.
Yeah, it's an action, so your channel divinity will always delineate which is which, action, bonus action wise. I'm not entirely sure if the life will get it, but it's effectively the same as casting a spell, but it also doesn't necessarily limit you from casting a spell. But you have no spell slots, so that's not really an issue here. But yeah,
Yeah,
right now
exactly.
you can restore those 10 once everybody gets close. So what is it? It's to a creature, no more than half. So that's the big thing here is effectively how many people are below half hit points right now?
I'm
Is
way
it all,
below that.
are you
I'm
below a
above.
quarter?
I'm above.
Is Relic below a quarter? I think it's like 4 hit points.
Uh, I'm at 8, so
Yeah. So in the long run, he's the only one who's under half right now. So you can sink it into him, but he's also bloodied. So you don't actually know how much you're able to heal him for. And that's kind of the big thing that you have to keep in mind if you want to burn that.
Oh, okay. So I do burn it.
Yeah. Right above Preserve Life, you have your Channel Divinity counter, where you have 1 per short rest.
Got it. Well, what do you say, Relic?
um Yeah, okay, I'm holding. I'm gonna come back over to you. Wait,
So
do I still have I can open up this folder.
I lost your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying, I can just go back over there since we're out of initiative, right?
Yeah, you guys are out of initiative here. This is more the choice where you guys are looking for what you're about to do, and kind of cleaning up this area. I think like
Oh,
a few of the arrows got lost. I'm assuming at some point Luther is getting his crossbow bolts. Like a lot of the ones that you guys shot, you can recover. The ones in particular that I said were gone, those are the ones like to delete. But yeah, in general, you guys are just in that kind of cleanup phase here. Luther, do an intelligence for me.
uh, uh, also, quick question: like, how does channel divinity work exactly?
What's your actual question? How?
Like, is it like a healing thing, or is it like I've never seen it like actually done. So
Channel of Divinity has two different options for each cleric. Like I think starting out, I think they eventually get a third, or at least it becomes destroy undead. But they all have turn undead, and then he's got preserve life as his subclass one. Um, in particular, though, at this point, Luther, you know if you burn that, you're wasting most of that healing. He is bloodied. He is not severely bloodied. If he were severely bloodied, you would feel confident that you could sink a good bit of healing into him. But at this point, you might heal him for a little bit. This is, I think, more a level of if you guys feel concerned enough, you might want to take a short rest where it's worth burning. But out of game, very meta. If you burn that right now, you are healing him for 1 hit point.
oh, so I have a question: if I like damaged myself in order to do that,
He could still only heal you up to 9 hit points. It just wouldn't
okay,
waste the healing.
okay, so yeah, all right,
I mean, if you go down, then he can heal you up for everything. And
Yeah, that spell is good for if everybody is injured, he can burn it. Going into a short rest, he can burn it, and do a lot of healing real quick with that spell. And of course, once you guys are higher levels as well, you can have like 40 hit points and be under half by like 20 or 30.
yeah, okay. In that case, I think maybe a short rest would probably be more effective. I don't want you to burn something like that effective for the whole group on just me. I mean, honestly, like character wise, I would damage myself just to get back to full health, but out of the game respect, I'm just going to be like, we should probably take a short rest.
no, I think what he's saying is he can only heal you up to half your hit points.
So that's what I'm saying. Like so I would say like, character wise, he would be like, if you can heal me, do it. But if it's like, I guess would that be meta? Kind of just to be like, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't know. I'd rather take the rest.
If you're going to hurt yourself for any reason, I feel like you are definitely talking about game mechanics.
Yep. That's why. That's why.
So at this point, do you all feel the need for a short rest?
I vote yes.
I'd be okay with it.
Do we want to try and get across the bridge first in case there's more? Maybe use this ridge here and try to rest here.
I think we should get across the bridge
Wondering out loud.
first. Yeah, you have a point. We should probably get across the bridge first. Yeah.
Strategically, it's better that we don't stay where you kill all these goblins, because one survived, he could come back with more of them.
That's true.
Good point.
And perhaps if we can maybe get into those trees on the other side and clear away these bodies and try and take a rest there.
I don't
Yes.
think we should stay near this bridge. I think we should go and try to move for about an hour and then stop.
I agree. We should clear the bridge of the bodies and keep moving. You can heal up later.
Is crossing the bridge the direction that we'd want to take to get to Bryn Shander, or would continuing along the east? Is this the east? Or is continuing along the ridge that we were on the straight shot?
Yeah, not in particular. The bridge is just a object that crosses this valley. You guys were following the valley north to south.
We keep on going, following the ridge, about an hour, then we stop.
Should we toss the? Should we search the goblins for valuables? Not that I expect much.
Roll an investigation.
Sure.
Sure. Can I aid him in that?
You can roll an investigation as well. Between the two of you, you guys are able to collect 14 copper pieces, as well as 6 arrows. One of the short bows is damaged, but serviceable.
I'll take 4 copper.
And I'm gonna dump the bodies off the side of the bridge, into the valley.
So when you guys are all good to go, the plan is to follow the ridge line southwest for another hour.
Yeah, we'll add another hour, then a short rest.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay.
I'm with it.
Let me get perceptions from everybody.
I don't see shit.
Was that the fresh one from Carvath there, that 1219?
Yep.
Word, okay. Yeah, looking around, you guys are moving forward. After about another hour moving forward, where you feel pretty safe and you're starting to think about taking a rest, Luther is going to pick up the first few signs of snow across the roofs of Bryn Shander ahead of you all to the southwest. It's just beyond view. It peeks through the snow here and there, but at present you have a pretty good sense that you're getting close.
In that case, perhaps I should simply continue on.
No, we need to rest. We don't know we're going to find it there. We need to take a short rest.
I'm just worried if the weather starts acting up again. I mean, it's according to Luther, it's within sight. We might as well. I don't know. My vote is for pushing on, trying to make the walls.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Hector looks at Alec. Can you make it to the town?
Yeah, sure, I can make it.
Okay, then. You guys know this region a little more than me. Let's go. Okay, let's push on.
Let me get survivals from Relic and what was it? Luther and Etor. As you guys push forward here, the winds are picking up, the snow is picking up, and very quickly you cannot see in front of you. Luther, roll a perception and advantage for me. As you are pushing forward through the snow and keeping the party guided through this process, you are hearing the exact same growls of the cats that took your friend Byron. Roll a wisdom save for me. And as you all reach the gates, you've spent this hour pushing everybody forward. and you recognize only after moving through the gates that now is the right time to tell everybody. There were crag cats following you all for the last 2 hours. If you guys had stopped, you were about to get ambushed by these creatures. And probably the only thing that saved you from those creatures again was pushing forward and keeping your eyes down and moving forward through that blizzard. You guys are back inside of Bryn Shander along that northwestern pass.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was a big choice there. I'm not sure. It was less. I think I rolled the maximum number of crag cats on that first battle you guys had with them. I rolled less for this one, but they're still very formidable enemies.
I
I
remember.
think it only took 2 of them surprising us before Byron was down. So
Yeah,
even a
they're like
couple would have
auto
been.
surprise round creatures too.
They got mauled by 5 of them, and I didn't have a chance even to look around.
Got beat up by like fucking kobolds, man. That reminds me of the freaking kobold.
Son of a bitch. That reminds me that I forgot something. Yeah. When you actually look around to tell everybody that you kind of lucked out there, Luther, you're gonna notice there's 7 people in your party. There's 3 other people who have joined you all, and they're just kind of walking silently with you at the back of the party.
What the hell? Who are you people?
Oh, you mean Dave? Yeah, he's been there for a minute.
Yeah, they're just humanoids, about 5-6 feet tall. Each of them are bundled up in their cold weather gear, and they're just trudging along with you guys.
Are there guards at the gate?
Yeah, after dark here, when you guys are coming in, you are most certainly walking through guards at the gate.
I hitch my thumb and say, those 3 aren't with us.
Why do you think you guys are welcome here?
Hey, wait. Now they might be with us. I turn to
No,
look at 'em.
no. They are not with us. We are coming to bring this or to the where I don't know why I'm talking. You guys do the talk.
I turn to look at him. So, y'all with us or no? Who are you? Are you following us?
You just see as their faces are just like covered in ice, and clearly all of the fur around their, I think it's tamarack, is kind of frozen. They've very much been like lost in this blizzard until they must have found you and just kind of joined you all up in the blizzard here. And moving towards it, they just point towards the city and just say, "Long we've been lost."
All right. Well, all right. There's an inn as soon as you walk in, and yeah, careful of those cats. And walk into the town. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I need to heal up, so I'm not going to spend too much time with that.
After look around, ask Luther. So this is the town you spoke of. So where we going from here?
I think the Black Iron Blades is the most likely place to find the dwarves.
So go ahead.
Oh no, he would Carvath was just gonna agree with that. So that's it.
Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna stick with you guys. I think we make a good team.
Well, you're no Byron.
I'm sorry about your friend. I'll do my best to honor his death.
Okay, so as far as Luther is concerned, he doesn't really, he's not gonna pick a fight or whatever with these poor frozen travelers. So I suppose he helps continue hauling the sled to the Black Iron Blades.
Hector follows the group, helping.
Yeah, Carvath considered trying to get a sense of their thoughts, but given the guards are right here and there's people around, he opted not. So he'll join them in bringing the start moving the sled again towards the Black Iron Blades.
I think overall, you actually know that's a pretty secretive thing that you can do. It's usually pretty safe to do. I don't think you have any verbal components or anything to do it. I think you just do it.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe he's a little gun shy after Relic tried it. I think it was Relic, right? In the
Yeah, that was meant to tell you that that group that you all were in with there was a lot more than you would have expected, and it did not help that encounter in the least bit. That was the point of that guy. Those guys are badasses.
Okay.
Like, that was supposed to be a warning to Beaks that you are walking into a room that is filled with some crazy badass motherfuckers. So do you want to do it as you all are still at that gate area?
I guess if I knew that it was not that likely to come back on me, then I would have. Yeah, I would have reached out to, I guess maybe whichever one spoke after Relic spoke to them. I would have tried to sense their thoughts.
So what's your intelligence modifier?
Plus 2.
I guess really it's just your spell save DC. So a 10. Yeah, you have proficiency, so a 12 really.
So my save DC is 13 because I think it's charisma for. Oh no, wait.
Oh yeah, you're a sorcerer. My bad. I kept thinking you were still the wizard. So yeah, it's the 10. When you start to, is it a single person? Let me actually bring up detect thoughts too.
Oh, but it actually does use my intelligence modifier for this ability.
Yeah, I'm looking at the doppelganger right now.
Yeah, I had to bring it up myself again to remind me.
Okay, so it's any one creature. So let's see, and this is the first level of surface thoughts. So yeah, when you pick this up, you are going to hear in your head, "It's working. We're safe. We've made it. We're safe."
Okay.
So as you all start to walk through the gates, and as the guards basically direct you all, Black Iron Blades is straight down this street. You'll find it before you arrive in the town square. Are you going to delve deeper? Or are you going to check one of the other creatures?
Do they start? Which direction did they start walking off after they started to leave, or this happened before that?
That's kind of like you guys walking through the gates at this point. The guards aren't like hassling anybody, so like they're just like looking to see essentially that nothing evil is walking in here. They're like, if a crag cat started to walk through the gate, they would do something. But overall, you guys are basically just being like brought in through the outer gate. As they close the outer gate, they open the inner gate, and you guys are welcomed in. But there's not like a thorough questioning or debriefing to see what's up. They're just getting you all out of the danger of the tundra.
Okay. Yeah, so when he inwardly Carveth is thinking like what's working, and he's going to risk it and try and get a little bit uh deeper in, kind of peel back another layer of the brain onion, as it were.
Act like a human. It's working. We're safe. Act like a human. Act like a human. Act like a human.
So Carveth's gonna glance towards the others, glance towards the beings, and then he's going to let it go for now, but he's going to try and keep an eye on them as the party starts heading down towards Black Iron Blades. He wants to see if he can kind of keep an eye on which direction those things go, and then once they're away a little bit, he would essentially tell the others like, I don't think those creatures are quite what they seem, and then he would relay kind of what he had sensed.
Roll a perception. Yeah, roll a perception. It's not long after you all actually get through the gates that you lose sight of them in the actual storm. Um, they certainly don't seem to have followed you all into this area. Whatever they've done, they've made it to safety, and they've kind of gone on their way.
Okay, but I didn't get any like aggressive thoughts, or just kind of essentially what I heard is what I sensed, right?
Yeah, I think emotional states is definitely like that level of relief. This was something that really, it was like elated to be safe and out of the tundra. Um, oh shit, and it would have known that you're probing into its mind at that point. Hmm. What's your intelligence? Actually, I
Uh,
think it's a contested intelligence. Yeah, do an intelligence check for me.
can I use? No, I'm not gonna. No.
So yeah, you notice as it kind of will look towards you as you all are at that like gate still, and it's gonna kind of like turn its eyes towards you as you feel this like mentally it's starting to fight back, but you are able to continue the spell. So with that in mind, are you still going with that idea that you're gonna like try to walk on? It basically knows what you're doing right now.
Uh, yeah, I think I would kind of. Now that we're like, given we're in town and everything, I don't want to push my luck, so I'm gonna kind of like recede back and just continue on with the others.
All right, gotcha. So yeah, as you all walk on, by the time you actually go to kind of tell anybody, looking around you, the creatures are no longer in sight. Whatever those people were, they're not there anymore.
Okay. Yeah, so I would relate kind of the what I had sensed, and um yeah, not really sure what to do about it right now. I didn't see where they went.
So you all can push on towards Black Iron Blades, eventually making it there. Um, Knocking on the door. Let me get a performance from whoever would like to be the knocker.
It would probably be Luther, right? He had the most interaction with the dwarves.
Yep.
And I got a pretty good hand with the dice today too.
So yeah, you just approach the door. It's a few moments after you start knocking that you see Garn, the blacksmith, once again kind of coming down from the stairs in that central area that kind of separates the two different buildings, the actual like sales floor from the smithy. And he walks on down, and you can see he's like groggy-eyed. You definitely woke him up. It's not like a deep sleeper. He's active pretty quickly here. But you can see that kind of like initial bit once he opens the door, I should say. And it's really hard to describe shit without windows. And he kind of like opens the door for you all, very quickly recognizing who it is, ushers you all in, and I think he's gonna actually open the door first to kind of look. He'll see you and he'll say, "Oh, come, quickly, come on through." And he'll just try to get the door shut for the cold as soon as possible.
Where should we bring the sled?
Just come inside, quick. The cold. We need to shut the door.
Okay, Luther hustles inside.
Everyone.
So once he gets you all inside, he's I think we'll have to bring the sled around back. Which I'm gonna have to get dressed. So let's give it a few moments and we'll go right out there.
I think Luther is going to go back out into the cold and watch over the sled.
So Carvath is going to kind of like pretend like he was going to do the same thing, and then kind of catching Luther doing, he's going to like, oh, okay, and then he's going to stay inside.
Yeah, this is one of the warmer buildings that you'll come across with the smithy here and all of the actual stonework inside. It has a lot of ambient heat, even late in the night like this. But he's probably about 5 minutes getting dressed in his actual gear, and he'll eventually come back downstairs. And anybody who's inside, he'll kind of ask you to head outside with him. But otherwise, he'll basically like step out at very least with Luther immediately, and he'll pretty quickly approach the cart and start to drag it. And you can see he is almost able to actually like get it moving all on his own.
Yeah, so Carvath would kind of sigh sadly, and then not wanting to leave the relative warmth of the building, but then he would head outside and help with the even though it doesn't seem like his help is really needed at this point, given Garn seems a pretty strong guy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can like fake pull this, and the cart's moving, or the sled. So he'll basically have you all kind of drag it around, takes it into the back of the smithy, where you can actually see he'll unlock a door with some of the keys on his belt, and you're able to slide it in like on a level surface, and essentially bring the cart into the opposite side of the building. And then same thing, as soon as you guys have it inside, anybody who's behind, he ushers you quickly so you can basically conserve as much heat as possible, and get the doors back shut. And he's not like perhaps as welcoming as the last time you saw him, where he was quick to kind of offer to sell you all things. And I think he offered you like some tea or hot drinks. But he's very quickly kind of like saying like cordial hellos to you all, but he's lifting up the actual tarpaulin to actually look. And you see as like a level of relief crosses his face as he's counting the rows and how high they're stacks. and he's coming to the conclusion it looks like everything's here. And he'll eventually, after probably about 5 minutes of doing that like quick math in his head, coming to that conclusion, he'll kind of start to act a little bit more normal as he sheds a little bit of relief and looks to you all. You've done a fine job, friends. It's most welcome relief. Thank you all.
You're most welcome. Can't say it was easy, but I'm glad we made it back.
The Tundra never is easy.
We lost a good man out there.
He's gonna look around and sees that you have the same number. Did you lose?
Hi, my name is Hector. I'm not the guy. I'm other one, a new one.
Well, welcome, Eater. My name's Garn. I'm glad you're with us. And he'll look back towards Luther. I'm sorry for your loss. We here most certainly appreciate what you all have done. Most unfortunate, though. And he's basically at this point, he's kind of scanning around to see. Effectively, if you guys are all hooded, you all look exactly the same. So he's kind of like trying to get a sense of who actually got lost at this point.
Hey guys, so I'm actually going to punch out for the day. So I will see you all next week.
Oh, you're rolling out. Have a wonderful week.
Yep. All right. Have a great time, guys. Good
See
job.
ya.
Yeah. So assuming at some point it's basically shared that Luther, his friend Byron was lost, you'll see a little bit of remorse from Garn, and he'll just kind of solemnly pats his foot against the ground, lowers his head, doesn't really know what to do until not long after he's then another good bit of time goes by before he actually does kind of pipe up, and he's I'm gonna go put some water on, make some hot tea. Are you all hungry? Can we do a stew for you? I don't know what to say.
A bite to eat would be most welcome, and yes, it's very very unfortunate what happened, but such is life, I suppose.
I accept. I don't eat something hot in days.
Yeah, so like Carvath definitely doesn't. He seems like he's kind of like he's trying to like appear like remorseful and stuff, but he kind of you maybe get the sense that he is not all that uh like actually remorseful. Like he's kind of doing what he
Did you
thinks
say
people
you're
want.
faking it? Let me get a deception check from you. I feel like you're going to seem a lot like a sociopath, as you're very clearly trying to fake an emotion that you've seen people sharing, but you do not know how to care.
Yeah, he kind of is a. I don't know if he's a sociopath, but he's very like pragmatic. So like he didn't know the guy that well. So he's not. He doesn't really care, but he's trying to make it seem like he does, and obviously failing at it.
Uh, I'm afraid Runa isn't here right now. I think they're still staying at the Northlook. Uh, they'll probably be in tomorrow. You all are welcome to sleep here again if you'd like, or you're most certainly welcome to head on to the Northlook if you would care to as well. It's no never mind to me, but you're welcome.
If you wouldn't mind putting us up for another night, ran into a bit of a misunderstanding at the Northlook, so a bit more time away. Again, if it's not too much trouble.
Hector looks around. What is the problem with the inn? No one's playing that to me.
A bit of a long story. I'll tell you. I'll tell you over dinner, perhaps, or after dinner.
All right.
Yeah, so he'll serve hot tea, with like some like greens in it, so it's like an evergreen tea. He'll end up bringing down a stew that's got like some herbs in it. More or less, it's just a broth, made like out with like a marrow and some different herbs for a little bit of flavor. And he'll kind of bring those things down over the next little bit. It's the same idea. You guys can basically sleep inside of the actual storeroom, of Black Iron Blades. And if you guys, obviously, Etor knows what happened, like Mauricio knows what happened, so you can share that story. You guys can go to bed and take a long rest here.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, Carvath would have explained to Edtor kind of what went down with Skeeter at the inn.
And then as the dawn arrives the next day, it's not enough sleep yet, but it's a little bit before 6 a.m. that you start to hear like banging happening around. You're able to fall back asleep and effectively, like, you can either, if you'd like to, you guys can wake up at 6 a.m. and not do anything for 2 more hours and actually get this long rest, or you can actually sleep till 8 and just kind of, it gets more and more active as Garn and his sister start to shuffle around the actual shop and effectively prepare for whenever somebody walks in, they are effectively open for business.
I think you always wait a little until you get longer rest.
And Carvath would try to, as best he can, kind of ignore the sounds of the forge and everything starting up, and he wants his 8 hours after dragging that heavy thing. So
Yeah, he's not like actually smithing anything. It's them like walking around and preparing the shop more. So it's like people stepping over you occasionally, and it really is. It's just Garn and his sister. So like probably from like 6 till 6:30 or so, you hear them starting to like light stuff. Where you actually hear them like preparing for breakfast. He might actually like light the forge and actually start a fire in that hearth, which will eventually become the fire that he'll actually stoke to start forging stuff. But yeah, like at present, it's like side noises, little distractions. As like 7 to 8 kind of comes around, you'll hear Elza like stepping over you as she's kind of like going through the racks and like preparing things that are on like the sales floor. But they're very clearly kind of like not trying to bother you, but they're still going about your day.
Yeah, so eventually Carvath will like yawn and kind of sit up and offer his thanks again for them letting him stay here, and then kind of wait for the others to get up as well.
Once you start moving around and actually get up, Garn's gonna just bring over another large. He's got just like a large cast iron kettle, probably like a gallon or so, and he's gonna kind of bring it over from the forge and take it over to one of the areas like where it's like a like counter in front of some of the armor, and he'll set it down on the actual top. Eventually, walk back over to about the same area where he's going to grab 4 bowls, and he's just going to kind of set them down there, and he'll just ask, kind of point for you. We've already heated up some of our broth here. You can enjoy some breakfast as well. Um, I think we still have a little bit of rye, and he'll eventually bring down like a big circular loaf of rye that's almost like hardtack, but you can kind of like dip it into the actual broth to get a little bit more of a meal. But that will give you another option for a breakfast as you all wake up in the Black Iron Blades. And once Carvath is moving, he'll start to actually stack the iron. So you start to hear as he's moving it off of this cart or off of the sled, and it ends up giving a nice like kind of rhythm to the morning, where about every like 10 or 15 seconds there's the click click as he sets down these bars, and you'll just see as he kind of like stacks these bars into almost as tall as it was long before, but he's basically making kind of like a Jenga board of these bars that kind of reach up to just over his shoulder. As he finished stacking them, it would probably be like noonish, but the dwarves are going to arrive before then. So at some point, if you guys are not doing anything else morning-wise, you're going to see as the 3 battle. Shit, what were the names again? The Battlehammer dwarves are going to arrive. You'll see Runa kind of leading them again, and she'll walk in, eventually, like throwing her hood back and seeing you all there will be elated. She'll look for Garn, who's stacking the iron, and with a sigh of relief, she's going to kind of look towards the others. Clarkstorn, we're safe. They've done it for us. And they'll look back towards you all and thank you again with a, you all are most wonderful. I trust there were no problems at all?
Actually, hello, my name is Hector. We lost one of us, and I kind of got in his place by accident.
You had to fight the Yeti. Crushed him.
Actually, no, we find yet, but we found the ore had been stolen by a group of goblins. We fought some goblins. He made a deal with another group to walk away. They accept a slight margin. I don't know, about 100 copper to go away, and we kill about 3 or 4 of them. Then they went away. So we brought the cargo back.
100 copper for all that iron?
They are not very clever.
Yes, thankfully, goblins are not particularly adept negotiators, but luckily we didn't run across the Yeti, but our friend Byron was taken by crag cats in a blizzard almost before we could do anything.
No safety in the tundra. It can be guaranteed. You've done a job well done. I promise you all a rich reward, and you will have it. And she's going to pull out a little satchel of leather and eventually open a little tie towards the top. And she's going to pull out 1, 2, 3, 4 large gems and hand each of you a blood ruby. As far as your notes go, you can write down these are 50 gold piece rubies. And eventually she's going to head over towards Garn, and they're going to settle up. Let me get a perception from everybody. Still around right now, Relic? Well, for what it's worth, at present, the two of you are going to overhear that this shipment was 150 gold's value. He is paying her 150 gold for this. And she thanks him and is going to walk back over towards you all eventually and kind of sit down and more or less kind of join you all. The other two just kind of sit in silence and more or less are just kind of like following her around, almost like they just like follow her like little lemmings kind of thing.
And so Karbath is going to help, thank her when she hands him the gem, and then he's also going to, after she's settled up with Garn and she's come back over, he'll be like, and thank you for the payment, and I was wondering perhaps if you could maybe I don't know, try and put in a good word for us around town. You saw the unfortunate bit of business at the North Look. That thankfully the person who caused the issue is no longer with us, but I'm hoping perhaps we can begin to redeem ourselves. Not that I don't appreciate these accommodations, and he'll kind of like gesture around the thing, but an actual bed would be kind of nice at some point.
Oh, we won't be in town for too much longer. We're going to have to return to our clan halls. But you may find the North Look is perfectly accepting of you. But perhaps you may want to enjoy your rations for at least a few days.
That seems sound advice. Thank you.
But you all have done quite well for us, and we cannot deny that we would have been in a lot more trouble had you not been able to save our shipment here. Keeping up business is extremely important to us, and what little trade that we have with your world has to be held high. You all are more than welcome to look to the dwarves if you need help. We're not a welcoming group, but you can certainly call on us for a good word. And you see as like one of the group kind of like nods, like with kind of like quick up and down, like kind of small, like almost like squeaky little, I don't know, very like small, shy person. Um, and then the other one actually is going to kind of like, yes, you can definitely call on our favor. You saved our hides. But Runa will kind of continue on. We don't have that much sway in a town like this, beyond the folk that we trade with. You'll find that much of these lands are filled with criminals, and folk who will be protecting their own as much as possible. But they're not trusting folk either. So be wary traveling these towns.
Yes, I'd rather gotten that impression as well. And again, thank you for the advice. And if there's anything that a group can do for you in the future, perhaps our paths will cross again someday.
Most appreciated. We do pretty well to remain self-sufficient. This coin here will go to buying some of the grains that we require to make some of our brew, as well as to feed some of our folk as well. There's little that we require, and little that they will offer. So keep us in mind if you require it. And for what it's worth, they'll kind of give a personal ruin of runas to Luther. So he'll have like a little, like almost like a stone coin with like a rune that represents her, that you guys can have like to garner some favor with the battle hammers if you ever encounter them again. Let me have you roll a d9 for me though, Carveth. Um, so on some level, it'll kind of continue back over towards Luther because he was one of the first ones that was chatting to, um, that brought them over after he was chatting up. I think his name was Solomon, um, the basically blacksmith's assistant. Um, and he'll eventually kind of continue on. You all, again, are more than welcome here. Don't think you'll be having any more problems at the Northlook. They've solved at least the problem they had in front of their face. But we did pick up you are willing and seemingly able to put yourselves forth and stand tall. If you care to, look to the south and head towards Dugan's Hole. They're being assaulted by a couple, perhaps a mated pair, of large winter wolves. And they'll be needing folk like yourselves who are willing to brave the danger.
I thank you for the words and advice, and I'm new in Icewind, but I, if I know a little about the 10,000, is that some things are better not being asked, right?
You say some things are better not being asked?
Yes, here I know that about the night that never ends, so I'm not very comfortable asking why.
The Frost Maiden Oral weaves the spell in the night. If you're fortunate on a full moon's night, you might see her flying above the sky. She casts the spell every single night to prevent the sun's rise the next day. It's her wish to isolate us all here. And many of your folk have turned to worship her for it, as you worship many of your deities, in fear as much as reverence.
You are not wrong. I worship Tyr. I believe in justice. But things that the Teen 10,000 have their own kind of justice, right?
You'll find Tyr has little presence in these lands, little respect from these peoples. Most of your people are here because they are not welcome in your lands, and they have come here as the last bastion of hope. And those who are from here are nothing more than the children of criminals.
Everyone has the right to have hopes. I will not judge people by their past. I only judge people by their actions. That's the way things should be.
You might find some of the folk here have taken up this second chance and risen to the occasion. But this group here, there's good in Bryn Shander, but they too have their devil within. Justice in these lands is different than what Tyr sees. For better or worse, these lands are losing the battle for good, and they are falling into the hopelessness that isolation and a cold, lonely death offers the children of Oral.
Hector looks down and say to say, I think you're right, but it would be against my own nature if I didn't try to do something. I don't know what. I will hope Tyr must show me the way. Till then, I will help anyone who needs help.
Yes, well, we can't all be saints, of course. But Ator, if you want to do some good, it sounds like this fellow is suggesting Hugin's Hole could use our help. Sorry, were you saying something? I thought you might have cut out there.
I think Halleck and Luther, you come with us. I think Halleck wants a little more than a gem.
Well, I imagine if we could save an entire settlement from wolves, they'd be rather grateful.
I think so. Maybe they even give her a relic sometime. What do you think? I think you have a good idea, Karabaf. I think we should travel to Luganho, see what we can do to help people there.
Yes, and an extra day or two. Give the memory of the unfortunate incident at the Northlook even more time to fade from people's minds, and so yes, I suppose I would suggest we once everyone's ready, we head south as suggested.
I'm ready. I think we should go.
So given the hour, so it's right around noonish, you said, do we think we could? Do we have an idea of whether we could make it to Dugan's Hole by the essentially the end of the day? I guess.
So in general, you kind of have a few different paths that you might be able to take to try to find your way to Dugan's Hole. You all can try to travel to the south and head along the caravan route and then strike out east from there. Or you can head along the east way and try to go through Goodmead towards Dugan's Hole. But in general, you're probably about a full day's travel without arriving in poor weather. More or less, Dugan's Hole is probably a 2-day trip.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess Carvath would suggest maybe they might be able to make good time if they start south, taking the caravan route, and then once they've made their way south that way a little bit, maybe cutting east towards Dugan's Hole.
You seen this way here?
Yeah, yep.
Sounds like a good idea. Walk through a route that has movement and only walk a bit in the tundra.
Right. Perhaps we could even make camp that first night somewhere around the road, and then on the second day do the cut across and try to make it to Dugan's Hole on that second day.
I think it's a good idea. I think we should do that. We make our camp a little further from the road to avoid some kind of robbers, and then the next day we walk to the Goswell.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, so let's do that.
As far as everything goes, you guys can set out. It'll be about noon or so when you are able to set out across Bryn Shander. You kind of will walk to the actual peak of the hilltop, where you will see the town hall kind of sits as like the highest location. And then immediately to the north of it is the town square, where some of those actual buildings are basically just like roofed in buildings, but like open air buildings. And you can kind of see that that's a general market that you can pick up like little this and that's. But in general, most things no longer kind of use that setup, as you can kind of see from it's some of the oldest stuff. But in that area, you also see, and I'm about to sneeze. You also see like a kind of preset. It's not really a gallows so much as it's like an actual pit for burning people. And it's kind of like a steel shrouded, um, like large stake almost in the ground with chains kind of dangling from it about 15 feet up. probably like 8 or 10 feet of chains. So you can essentially chain somebody by the hands. They are lifted to like a full extension for like a 5-6 foot tall person. And it's clearly a pit for burning. You can see like the actual evidence of melted snow, the actual like charcoal of fires being left there. At this point, it's probably like among the most covered that it will be, because you're towards like the actual new moon or the full moon right now. But it's very clear as you approach this area that it's essentially like part of the square's purpose is for these sacrifices. And you all are well aware that they are sacrifices to Oral, burning people alive. But you are pointed down the road that leads to the southwest, and eventually you can head out in that direction. Eventually making your way through the guard post and out onto the caravan road. And while you all, oh, I didn't even have you on that map the whole time. Doesn't really matter too much, but my apologies. I had you on the wrong map. You're technically on this map, so again, town square, where they more or less have it presented for sacrifices and punishment. The town hall, highest building in the city, and then you guys walk down the southwest road to find the gate to the southwest there. So as you head out of the southwest gate, you all can begin your path, making your way to the southwest, following the caravan route. And I guess at this point, it's going to be Etor, if you will make a survival check with advantage.
And also, once we're out of town, I would cast Mage Armor, so I'll roll a d20 for you.
Word, no big explosion. So yeah, you guys can head off on the way. As you actually leave Bryn Shander on that southwest side of the hill, the initial part of that travel is actually one of the nicest you'll experience in this land. You're pretty well protected from the wind for about like a half hour of the travel before it starts to blast you much harder as the wind is actually sped up around the hill, and it kind of like closes back in on you from kind of northeast as well as northwest of you, and it kind of pinches back down on you all. But more or less, conditions are pretty fair as you leave Bryn Shander this day, and you're able to kind of push forward and keep to the trail. It's pretty well set, and it's one of those things where you can kind of tap through the initial cover of snow to find the hard surface below you. And you do pretty well following that. Let's do another round of survivals from you. Again, following through the trail, weather's still pretty clear. You've got probably a solid like 40 or 50 feet of visuals at any given point. There's certainly a big dusting of snow that's still being carried across the winds. You can look back and still see Bryn Shander as you all start to turn with the caravan route a little bit further to kind of like south, almost heading eastward. And more or less, time travels by pretty solidly. You don't really have a whole lot of difficulties, and you're able to continue on. You all thought about how many hours you are going to try to travel along the road before you separate from the caravan route?
So I think the idea is to generally, I mean, we won't know exactly, but essentially get to sort of due where we're due west of it, and then leave the road from there and head sort of cut across the tundra from then. I'm not sure how many hours that would be, and assume like the visibility isn't so good that we would actually be able to catch sight of like the lake as a reference point.
Did either of you measure that route?
This looks about 5.5 miles south, and then
Yeah, let me have each of you do an intelligence. Etor, you can add your survival bonus. So just do intelligence, but you can add +4 to it. I guess really it's more proficiency, so you can add the +2 to it. So you guys make about a mile an hour. You're gonna go for 5.5 hours, basically. Is that the goal?
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds yeah.
Let's get another round of survivals from you. Push it forward 3 hours in. Everything's going well. Still about 25, 35 mile an hour winds. Dustings of snow. Overall, everything's going clear. Do another. Keeping along the route, feeling good. You're starting to get to the point where, going eastward is going to take you to the Red Waters, and you're pretty confident on that. And again, you think you've got about another hour and a half until if you set out westward, you will connect almost directly with Dugan's Hole. So do another.
What time is it approximately? It's still day, technically speaking.
I mean, it's always dark. You guys are at best dimly lit, and there's no real big difference between the full moon of what you have right now in this part of the month, as well as with the actual aura above. The only difference is right now you have like a colorful light show of dim light, so that tells you that it is still day. You left about halfway through the day, is when you left Bryn Shander, and you're now 4 hours into it.
Okay, 4 hours. Okay.
Pushing forward here into the 5th hour, still able to keep to the actual caravan trail, finding pretty comfortable how the situation is going, but you do notice that there is a change in the wind, and perhaps the weather is going to be changing this evening. But at present, everything's still going well, and you're probably about a half mile or so short of where you all were planning on leaving the caravan route and heading east towards Dugan's Hole.
Roll again.
And perhaps keep going a bit, and then maybe keep an eye out for
After look around, assim, the weather is changing. I think we must walk a little more and stop for the night.
yes, if it gets much worse, we should find a place to batten down.
Yeah. Or at least find a place to find better place to camp.
So a lot of the caravans valley actually does a pretty similar thing as the Valley of the Dwarves, where the winds are actually creating large snow dunes. So there are certain levels of your inside of shelters that are more or less naturally there. So you have some level of protection just from the dunes by being on the caravan route. And this hour is where you expect to have to turn, but you can also head further south, head less south, and actually look for a camp if you would like to here.
Yeah, looking for trying to find a decent place to camp. We've
Yeah.
made good progress today, and then
That's the idea. We find a good place to camp. Uh, he keep watch in shifts and restart the travel as soon you rest and the weather is better.
So let me get a survival from Etor. This will be a straight roll, and a nature from Carveth.
Nice one.
So looking for ideal locations to try to actually take shelter. You guys are trying to look for something that is actually protected by the wind. So you're almost looking for like an overhang in these snowdrifts that actually protects you from a northeasterly wind. And you spend a little bit more time going over it. You probably spend most of this hour heading to the southwest, still along the caravan route, and eyeing these different lips, trying to find one that seems like a good enough shelter. And nearing the same occasion, both of you spot the same location in just a very fortuitous break in the snow. And as you see a view of this area, it's just one of those things where you see that perfect level of you're seeing like the green and the purples of the aura shining over this massive chunk of ice that overhangs the actual valley of the caravan route, and the dark black shadow of what's hid underneath it. But you all more or less have a good sense that this might be the location that you guys want, and it offers the protection from the wind, and it's at least a place that is probably among the most ideal places to set up a camp and weather the night.
yeah. So after spotting it, Carvath will kind of turn to like suggest it to Isor, and then like kind of see that he's already looking at it, and kind of nod towards it, and just like it looks like it might be a decent place.
Looks like it. How about we set up a camp here?
That works for me.
So we start set up a camp, trying to create some kind of barrier between us and the wind. Start some kind of fire if possible.
What do you all have for fire? Did you guys buy any firewood?
No, I forgot. I have a tinder box, but I forgot to buy wood.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea, but I don't. Yeah, we didn't buy anything.
It's kind of a joke because this is one of those places where they will sacrifice wood instead of sacrificing a human life. It's probably pretty expensive to buy wood, guys.
Yeah, we should have cut some down from those trees near the bridge, but we wanted to get out of there.
We
Yeah,
already
so more or less, you guys are isolated, and this is one of those things where the setup is to use the actual snow as insulation. Your clothing is prepared for it. Again, you don't have warm nights here. You always feel cold. You always feel like your bones are freezing. But it doesn't mean it's like actually causing frostbite.
Yeah, so kind of setting up camp and maybe grabbing some carve out to kind of dig into some of his rations for a meal, and then maybe suggest that they uh, arrange the watch order for the night?
Yeah, same thing.
So
Oh shit!
Wake up! How are you?
I apologize.
Did you fall asleep there?
It's been a long day, bro. Really do apologize. That's all.
No, I was thinking that you passed out.
That's all I can say, man. Man,
Don't worry. Your character died, and I'm joking.
man. Like I had the biggest oh shit moment when I woke up to voices, and I'm just like, oh fuck. Man, I didn't even feel myself like tired, man. I just woke up. I literally just completely just went straight back to conscious. I didn't even feel myself doze off. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, so they've left Bryn Shander. Right now the group is heading south along the caravan route. And you've gone most of what everybody expects will be south enough to be able to head east towards Dugan's Hole. It is late in the day, probably getting close to where you expect the aura itself to give up light and the moon to start rising into the night sky. You all have a sense that the wind is turning and that perhaps the weather is going to be turning here as well. And as well, shit, I don't even know if you picked up this. You guys got paid, each of you got a 50 gold piece ruby for payment in helping the dwarves. And among the things that the dwarf was able to share with you all was that your adventuring types, Dugan's Hole has some wolves that are a problem right now. So that's why you guys are headed that way. That's the shortest version to kind of pick you up on, where at least
Oh,
I noticed that you fell
okay.
asleep.
Okay. Thank you. I'm good with that. Thank
So more or less, you guys are just making a shelter at this point. Um, it's one of those weird things where it's technically too early for you all to rest. You are going to, on some level, be limited to. Damn, what time did I have you all getting in? I feel like you got in at 11:30, passed out at midnight the night before, so you really do have to kind of wait to long rest between like midnight and 8 a.m. again.
Yeah, I guess kind of the idea is that like once we found this good place to stop, and then we figure we can hopefully make the remaining distance the next day. So I guess we can kind of just like hang out and eat and shoot the shit for until it's actually time to rest. But like at the same time, I guess keeping watch while we're around.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you are, where you essentially have, um, I mean, you guys have way more energy than you expect after having walked 6 miles through the snow, because it is always difficult to walk through these snows. But you guys have quite a bit of energy still about yourselves, and are more or less still active. So inside of kind of the sheltered little overhang that you have, you're more or less hunkering down and yeah, kind of like the initial bit of it. You guys just kind of set up and start to partake in some of your rations after effectively like a day of not eating and walking. It feels good to sit there and eat. You feel a little bit warmer and have something in your stomach. And you actually very quickly appreciate the choice as in this next bit of time to start to pass, the winds start to roar a little bit louder. You start to see more and more snow swirling from overhead and just kind of gently falling in front of you all. But you start to lose more and more sight lines as more and more snow is just kind of roaring over this peak above you. And you guys are well sheltered from it. So you've got probably about 30 to 40 feet of view, because of the protection that it's offering, in that most of the winds are coming from that northeasterly, and you guys are kind of sheltered under a little. You're essentially in like a little bit of a cavern.
Okay.
So if everybody is kind of keeping on their own little watches here while you're all relaxing, let me get a perception check from you.
From all of us.
Yep. Did you guys roll it? I just got an error from Roll20. I wonder if I need to reload.
Yep, we got, let's see, I got a 9, Etor got a 14, and Relic got a 15.
Yeah, my bad. Didn't expect that. I thought it was something to do with holding Alt while I was drawing. That loaded the wrong campaign. One more second. That was weird. Definitely in your campaign. Press the reload button for the website, and it popped me up in another campaign. So yeah, looking around, everything's going well during this little hour. You don't really have any issues, nothing much to see ahead of you, and you feel a little bit more of a sense of relaxation. The blizzard just picks up more and more across that hour, but again, you do find yourselves well sheltered at the moment. Do another set of perceptions for me. Same idea, keeping a pretty good watch. You all are still feeling pretty comfortable about how things are going. And you're more or less able to relax in your little shelter here and keep yourselves well protected and safe. I am drawing a little thing. Move you all over to here. This is a massive map, and I am drawing in kind of the bottom left side of it, more or less, right now. Really the bottom side of it, because I want to show you what I have in mind with this cave.
Okay. Awesome.
So like that left side is how I kind of see the side view there, where you guys are more or less like under an overhang of the snow, and the snow is kind of coming from the northeast, like directly over your heads and just brushing down into the valley. And then the other thing that I was thinking is more or less from like a side view, you almost have kind of like, looks a lot like lips right there. Kind of just like sitting up against and inside of this overhang of snow. Just essentially, you guys are in like a pocket in the snowbank. So that's overall what I think you guys have kind of going on with this shelter. And then let me get another set of perception checks from you all here. Give me a moment here, actually. I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem.
Alrighty. So, Carveth, as the winds are just roaring overhead, just in kind of a moment, you're just going to hear inside of the roar of the wind. It's a beautiful shelter you found. Safe and cozy.
The Carvath is going to, hearing this, he's going to call out, and occupied, find your own space. And then kind of look towards Relic and Etor, and like, we've got company.
But I need the company. Yeah, I am looking around.
Looking around, you're not going to see anything. Oh. Many of you are waiting here.
I'm happy to have a conversation. Perhaps you should show yourself. I'd like to see who I'm talking to.
Make a persuasion. So in, I don't know, like the top left portion of this map, let me have you place yourselves on the map.
Do you mean like the top left of where it's like written, or the actual top left of the whole map?
No, top left of the actual, like the whole map. That little drawing was for me to give you guys that first setup of this is what you're kind of sitting inside of, is a small cave that is large enough for you all to shelter yourselves.
Got it. Okay.
So, like, if you two are going to go with that as a final position, Carvath is in the back side of the cave with a wall behind him, and Relic is essentially outside of the cave at that point.
Okay, so I want to be more so inside. Yeah.
Do you see where they're at up there? All the way in the top left quadrant, the northwest of this battle map. They're like, I think Carvath is like 5 down, 4 out. 5 by 5, actually. Almost perfectly in a corner square. Do you see them up there, Etor? Just moved you at least close to them because I assume you guys are all in the cave. So again, if you're there, you are now outside of the cave. So as you say that, Carvath, you see as a large blue paw just kind of like leans on the edge of the snow, and as it leans some weight into it, the snow crumbles down, and just in a moment this creature kind of flips around where it now has its hind legs away from you, and it just stares directly into your eyes. And how glorious do you enjoy the view?
Impressive. What should I call you?
Was never given a name. Name me.
Um,
Are we all able to see this, by the way?
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
Uh,
how about The impressive specimen, Frostfang. How does that catch you?
Roll a persuasion. Relic and Etor, roll dexterity saving throws for me.
Seriously? +5 the dex, and I roll a goddamn 1.
Both of you are going to fall prone as he names it Frostfang. It opens its mouth into what could be a roar, and instead of sound coming out, it just starts to vomit forth ice, and the ground beneath your feet starts to freeze until you guys are now standing on ice and no longer have safe footing. Yes. Frostfang is good. I'm Frostfang. What is your name, friend?
I am called Carver.
Carven.
So, am I like prone or anything, or am I just on ice?
Like you guys fell prone. It doesn't mean that you can't get up.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly get up and look at Frostfang and say, and we're his allies. We mean no harm, just trying to find some cover from the storm. I'm Relic, and I point to the others, and I say, this is Etor and Luther. Pleased to meet you. And I try to like waddle off the ice a little bit.
Yeah, so just do another dexterity check this time. Yeah, you're able to move without a problem at that point. Etor. Udo. Your shelter. Pleasing.
It's held its own pretty nicely actually.
It does seem to keep the worst of the wind out.
Do you intend to trespass through the night? What service would you pay for passage?
I was not aware. Apologies, of course, if we've inadvertently intruded on your space. We were trying to keep near the road. But what would you ask of us? Is there something we can help you with for an exchange for safe passage?
Unfortunate. You seem to have any fresh food. With you. But you do smell delightful. And it looks in particularly at the two of you doppelgangers.
I can assure you, probably tastes horrible. But is there anything else that usually satisfies your taste?
Just gonna lick its lips as it watches you.
Anything that's not us?
I'm sure there must be something around here we could track down for you that would be a bit more agreeable to your digestion than us.
You're going to hunt in the blizzard. Hunt in the blizzard would be far more pleasing than prey against a wall.
Looking for a challenge then. I imagine you've much more experience in blizzards. It wouldn't be very sporting to send us out in that.
If you've not come prepared to offer reverence, if you do not care for the hunt, it's always time to feed.
We don't have we may not have fresh meat now, but now that we know that you need it, we can bring you even more um later. A bit of delayed gratification. Surely a being such as yourself is wise enough to see the benefit to that.
Roll a persuasion at disadvantage. I like that you think it's wise.
Just trying to flatter it.
Why wait? The meal is here.
You might find the meat a bit tougher than it is to your liking.
Let me get a round of perception checks from you all. Carvath, you hear another howl on the wind.
Yeah, so Carvath is. It's like, I'd say there were two of them, kind of like under his breath.
You can try to make a performance roll. As you kind of whisper towards the others, right in the kind of the same moment you see as this wolf before you, like lowers its hind legs as it opens up its chest to the sky and it howls into the wind.
So Carvath's gonna look at the others like I'm kind of like almost like a little bit of a helpless expression. I was like, I'm kind of out of ideas here, guys.
Uh, shoot, my only idea is to take the shot.
Right now, you guys are in this situation. There's a wolf right in front of you. You definitely know it just called for help, or at least responded to its ally. You guys are here looking for two intelligent wolves, and this is probably one of them. And it's asking you for food. You guys can give up rations and avoid a fight, hopefully, or you're pretty much in a fight right now. So you guys have a few moments to decide, but it's about time to get busy.
Brother looks at Carveth and kind of like, I guess you could say, gives him that face, just like, are we fighting? And he's like reaching for his short spear, not like drawing it, but like kind of reaching for, like, we can fight now.